Hello and welcome to Big Man Rants Weekly Rundown, where I bring you the biggest news stories of the week from the realms of comics, movies, video games, and television. And as far as big news stories go, there was no shortage of it this week, as there was news aplenty. So, let us begin with some movie news. First up, we have what's arguably the biggest news story of the week, and that's Zack Snyder, director of the upcoming untitled Man of Steel sequel and Justice League movie, decided to have a little fun this week by seeing if he could break Twitter by revealing some teaser images of the new Batmobile and Ben Affleck striking a Dark Knight-esque pose in the new Batsuit. So for as much shit as I've talked about this movie, and for as many problems as I perceive it to have going into filming, I'm actually pleasantly surprised these two things won't be one of them. Now I have to give credit where credit is due and say, hey, nice job, Snides. What easily could have been another round of fodder for detractors of this film turns out to be, well, maybe the first bit of good news for even the most pessimistic of onlookers, myself included. So let's start with the suit. Just looking at it, at least in my opinion, it looks dynamite. I'm totally digging the look. I love the oversized bat symbol on the chest, and also the way the suit looks like it's been through some battles. You know, it's got some nice wear and tear on it. I'm even loving the smaller things about it, like the boxy utility belt and the stubby ears on the cowl, and even how the cowl kind of looks like it's attached to the cape. It's a total 360 from the suits we got from Nolan, which were more down-to-earth and reality-based, whereas this suit looks like it was literally torn off the page, straight from the Dark Knight Returns comic. And even though I feel like that's foreshadowing, and that we're probably going to see some sort of the plot from that story arc show up in the movie, which is, by the way, f***ing stupid. No one wants to see a superhuman alien punch a man with no powers in the face. But I love the look of the suit, and just the mere fact that he decided to rip it from the comic is telling that Snyder is finally going to depart from that super grounded in reality Nolanization of portraying superheroes. And he's going to stay more true to the comic version of it, which is always a plus. And I mean, let's all take a look at Ben Affleck for a second. I mean, god damn did he buff up for this role. No disrespect to the other guys who've donned the cowl like Christian Bale or Michael Keaton, but this dude, he looks like how Batman should look. As far as the Batmobile goes, again, loving it. It's not as gimmicky and made to look like a Mattel toy, much like the Burton and Schumacher Batmobiles were. And it's also not as bland and ugly looking as the tank that was the Tumbler. Fuck that thing. But it's a nice blend of the two. It's a little beefy and militarized, while also being incredibly sleek and slick looking. Now, I don't know if Snyder drew his inspiration from the Batman Arkham video games, but if he did, good on him. I'm liking where his head's at. Now, while we're on the topic of DC, let's get into our second news story of the week, which involves Jason Momoa. Hey, remember when he was rumored to be cast as an unnamed member of the Justice League? Aquaman? And set to debut in a cameo in the next Man of Steel sequel? Well...
DC fan, and I've heard there were rumors on the internet about you being the next Aquaman.
I know, Aquaman.
Yes, are you?
I could be more random to be Aquaman. Blonde hair and... I don't even know where it comes. It's like me being Robin or something. I don't know. Who pulls that out? It's just like I see it on the internet. It's like Aquaman. Like there's no fucking like logo I can see. But I don't.
But you can make Aquaman cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't quite look like that's going to happen. Maybe Momoa is playing coy, or maybe he's really not been cast in any kind of a role yet, but it was confirmed he did have a meeting with DC and Warner Brothers. However, if he's really not set to play Aquaman in the future DC films, hey, maybe Darkseid? Maybe? Oh god, please. Sticking with comic book movie news, it was recently confirmed in an interview with Total Film on the red carpet of the X-Men Days of Future Past premiere by producer Laura Schuler-Donner that after recently being rumored for the role, Channing Tatum is in fact cast to play Gambit in the upcoming X-Men films. Those beyond X-Men Days of Future Past, that is.
Gambit.
Oh, nice, Gambit as well. And so, what kind of an actor are you looking at for Gambit? Because I know Channing Tatum's very interested.
It is Channing. Yes. Yes.
So that's confirmed.
Him. Yes.
And what is it about him that you think will make a good Gambit?
Well, you know, he's a rogue, Channing. He's a rascal, just like Remy LeBeau. So, and he can handle the action. We all know that. So, and he's got a really good heart, because I know him personally. I did a movie with him. So I think he'll be great. He'll be great for Gambit. And he's a Southerner too. So, and he's not from New Orleans, but he is a Southerner. He understands that world. And you know Gambit loves New Orleans.
Now, he's not my first choice for the role. But you know what? After how badly they ruined him in X-Men Origins Wolverine, I don't totally disagree with them moving on from Taylor Kitsch. I wouldn't have minded seeing him back in the role, but I realize he's left a pretty sour taste in most people's mouths after the last outing. As for Tatum, he's fine. I think he might be a little too buff for Gambit personally, but I do enjoy him as an actor. It turns out the dude did grow up in the bayous of Mississippi, so if nothing else, at least he'll have a little bit of that Cajun swag. And more importantly, I think the best news to come from this story is simply this. More Gambit equals more Gooder. And it was recently reported by The Hollywood Reporter that he will make his debut in X-Men Apocalypse. So I'm pumped. I want to see more fan-favorite X-Men in more X-Men movies. Come on, Cable, come on. No whammies, no whammies. Now moving on to our last bit of comic book movie news, just quickly, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 took a legendary slap to the face last week in the box office when it got beat out by Seth Rogen's new comedy Neighbors. Now, I'm not inferring this makes me happy in any way. I'm definitely saying this makes me happy. This movie was grade A trash. And I just want to give a big round of applause to the fans for collectively saying,
"This whole thing fucking sucks,"
to this nonsense and going to watch something else. Sell the rights back to Marvel. And speaking of legendary slaps, with Spidey getting beat by frat house comedies last week, I would bet with a $40 million handicap that Legendary's new film Godzilla is about to stomp all the fuck over Spider-Man 2. Again, this coming weekend at the box office. And while we're on the subject of things getting stomped on, if you were one of those crazy optimists that had any hopes and dreams of J.J. Abrams coming back to direct Star Trek 3, you can officially kiss them goodbye, as it was officially announced this week by Paramount that the writer and executive producer of the previous 2 Star Trek films, Roberto Orci, will be directing the next film. This will mark Orci's debut as a director. And sure, why not? Star Trek's never been about playing it safe. It's always been about taking risks. Else you wouldn't have had Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy directing their Star Trek sequels back in those original films. Now, some will argue that he has no experience as a director, and that Into Darkness wasn't especially good. And although I will agree that the story for the last film wasn't especially strong, if you don't like that movie or the one before it, then this is not the Star Trek film series for you. Star Trek's been around for 50 years, and it will be around for 50 more. So in true Biff-Tannianism, make like you're at Penn Station, and wait for the next one. Alright, so now that all the big news stories are out of the way, now it's time for the Super Duper Incredibly Fast Mega Bonus Round! Alright, I'll be honest, I really have no idea what to call this segment, so just go with it. In this segment, I'll put up a few news stories, and while showing you these news stories, I'll give myself a quick window to give my even quicker opinions about it. So, are you ready?
I said, are you ready?
Number 1. ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been renewed for Season 2. You're doing below a 6 in the Nielsen ratings. Why are you still on TV? This show sucks. Number 2. ABC has picked up Marvel's Agent Carter to series. Welp, as long as you have Haley Atwell playing Peggy Carter and Dominic Cooper playing Howard Stark, you have instantly created a better show than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Number 3. Arrow just concluded its 2nd season on the CW this week, and is renewed for a 3rd season. Hey, same low budget, same bad acting, still better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At least this show has a likable cast and a story that makes sense. Number 4. After the Arrow season finale, a teaser trailer for the new Flash series debuted, followed by an extended trailer online. Well, I'm not sold by the suit, but hot damn, this CGI for a CW show is outstanding. And I'm totally sold on this being a successful show alongside Arrow. I am totally pumped for some crossover, and by the way, check out the extended trailer. Just click the annotation. It is worth your time, and also way better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Number 5. A new trailer for the Gotham series on Fox debuted this week, focusing on the stories of Jim Gordon. Boo! Boo! Before there was Penguin. Before there was Riddler. Before there was Schlock. There was Gotham. Man, I am selling so hard on this before I see an actual episode. But hey, it still might be better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Number 6. And finally, in some video game related news, Microsoft dropped the price of their Xbox One console $100 this week, making it now $399, and also did away with the gold-only account restrictions to services such as Netflix. When Microsoft was reached for a comment as to why the price changed, they responded only with this. And that'll do it this week for Big Man Rant's Weekly Rundown. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out the other fine videos on this channel. I can tell you this, they're at least better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.